Hi, everybody. This is Jennifer O'Toole, and I want to welcome you to episode 8 of Speaking Geek. Missed you guys last week. We had fall break around here, and personally, I needed a couple days off, so zonked and went off the grid for a couple days, and I'm back. And actually, I'm going to jump right into it because I've gotten some fantastic viewer questions this week that I really want to make sure we get to, and I really want to try to keep our time down because, some of us might have some attention issues. But anyway, so welcome to Speaking Geek, translating typical for the rest of us on the human spectrum. Those of us who are a little bit more fabulous and a little less common in our neurology. So this week's question comes from CJ, not her real name, but she's a 15-year-old girl who really identifies with the Aspie profile, right? And if you're not really sure what that means, you can go on Asperkids.com and go in the shop section. There's actually where it says freebie love. There's portrait of an Aspie, and there's the checklist, both of which I wrote. So this is firsthand, live it, feel it, know it stuff. They're free downloads that give you an actual real life idea of what Aspie means, looks like, because for the most part, even a lot of self-professed experts don't get it. So that's really important. But she has already done this. And in fact, a lot of the professionals she's worked with in her life have said, yeah, that definitely fits you. Only problem is when she's tried to talk with her family about that, conversation shuts down. And being only 15, she's in a position, right, where we all have been before, where your power is a little bit limited. So what do you do when you really want to be able to have a conversation because you feel a lot of the pain and the anxiety and the ostracism, the feeling of being, left out, not quite fitting in, not understanding the whys. If you don't have the if, I hate to make the geometry reference, but right, if and then, if you don't have the if, you can't get to the then. If you think of it along the lines, of if I've got some pencils here, but let's pretend they're dominoes. If I'm standing them up and I've got them and I knock one down and then the other, right? That's my if and then my then. You've got to have a cause in order to have an effect. And vice versa. If you want to know how to get the right kind of support, you got to know what you're working with. I wear contacts and I have to go every now and then to have my eyes checked, because if I don't, I'm not going to have the right support and I'm not going to be able to be my best. And the same goes for her. And so she's asking, what do I do? What do I do if these other people who are professionals are saying, yeah, that definitely fits. I think it definitely fits. And my mom doesn't want to hear a word about it. How do I get the support I need? Well, the thing is that situation really, although, the particulars are particular to you, CJ, they're really not all that different. In all honesty, my mother still doesn't use really the phrase or the word Asperger's. She doesn't like labels, she said. And I get that, except for the fact that, oh, yes, she does. Because we live in a society that is absolutely obsessed with labels. Let me give you a little bit of a background here, okay? And this is what I would want you or any of us. See, the thing is, when we're talking about Aspie, you're going to confront whether this is a teacher, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, your coworkers, whomever it is. What you're doing is you're confronting ignorance and fear. And so in order to address that, the worst thing you can do is, if somebody is coming at you with a feeling, is to come at them with facts. Right? If I say I've had the worst day and you say, well, but this happened this day and this happened this day and really this would have been okay and this could have been better, I suddenly feel totally invalidated. I mean, you're right, but deflate, wah. So when somebody's coming at you with feelings, you have to come first with feelings back. And the odds are that if somebody's resistant, somebody who loves you and does care about you is resistant to the label or the word Asperger's, autism, the spectrum, whatever it is, there's a reason. And the reason generally has to do with the fact that they are afraid of what that will mean either for you or for them or both. There are a lot of parents who see their kids as extensions of themselves and don't understand that being neurologically different is no less valid a way of being than being neurologically typical. And I think a lot of times they see, we as parents see any struggle our kids are going to have to go through as, well, if we can help them avoid it, that much the better. Only thing is that's not really actually true. The only way you get stronger is by having the right coping mechanisms and then getting through it yourself and seeing that you can do it. But when parents are more concerned about their own egos or their own fears, then that's a good time to say, hey, mom, dad, honey, whatever, there's something I want to talk to you about, and I want to talk to you about it because I know that you love me and I know that you want the best for me. And I really appreciate that. And so I wanted to let you know that I'm feeling, insert adjective here, because feelings are adjectives, right? I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling, disconnected. I'm feeling like it's all the troubles that I'm having are my fault. And I think that there's a good amount of support out there. And I know because you love me, you want me to have that support. And so would you mind if I told you about a way that I think that might happen? Okay, and here's the thing. Ready? Now we can get into facts a little because then it gets less emotional. All right, so the word logo actually comes from the word for word in Greek, right? And if you think about it, that's what a label is, right? Like, whoa! Sorry if I just messed up your ears, but Diet Coke or a Coke, the swish is known everywhere. You know what I bought? The first thing I ever bought with book proceeds, and let me let you know, you don't ever become a millionaire from selling books, but you know what I did buy? Chanel No. 5 in Paris. Okay, it might have been the airport. I never actually got out, but I saw grass through the window. But I bought Chanel No. 5. Why? Because it's supposed to be fabulous, right? It's the label. It's supposed to be fabulous. And my mother, for her birthday present last year, the one who doesn't like labels. See all the C's? Coach. Bought me a Coach wallet. The thing is that we do live in a world where there is a certain connotation or expectation that goes along with a label, right? If you get a little robin's egg blue box, there's a feeling that goes along with that, and you're expecting something awfully special. Basically, a label is shorthand for some kind of known quantity, whether that's the golden arches or whether it's the bullseye for Target, or whether it's, the Green Mermaid at Starbucks. It doesn't matter. A label is a way of helping us communicate an idea in a short, little abbreviated span of time. Only problem, sometimes the expectation we have with the label is actually wrong. What if it turns out you really don't like the way Chanel No. 5 smells at all, just because it says Chanel No. 5, right? Or what if the way you understand something is completely not, accurate? So for instance, if the label you're using, the shorthand you're using at a particular time isn't apt to the circumstance, it's not going to help, right? So if I were to go and I'm in desperate need of the bathroom and I'm like, hi, could I have the little author's room? What? Or could I have the little redhead's room? Huh? Labels only are relevant in the moment and the situations where they're relevant. Okay, so to those who are afraid of labels, first of all, remind them, no, we're really not. It's just that what we expect to go along with a label isn't necessarily correct. And if we use a label in the wrong context or overuse it, what the heck is the point? It doesn't matter if I'm looking for the little redhead's room any more than if I'm, in a situation where I need to understand a social situation and I'm telling them I'm looking for the author's assistance. No, that's where the ASPE label comes in handy, because if people understand, they're going to understand better. These are actually some cards that they're trading cards that a gal who I mentor, who is an ASPE, drew that we sell on Asperkids, but I just think they're perfect. So let me throw your label lore for a little bit of a loop. I'm going to read you a quote, and I'm going to show you a picture of an ASPE, or somebody who perhaps lived before Hans Asperger, but just completely fits the persona, right? Okay, the constellation of things that make us ASPE, which again, at the bare minimum, means that you're really bright and think in ways that change the world. Not so bad, but here we go. All men are created equal. Perhaps you've heard of Thomas Jefferson. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Perhaps you've heard of Albert Einstein. It's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Marilyn Monroe. I wish, as well as everybody else, to be perfectly happy, but like everybody else, it must be in my own way. Jane Austen. Everyone understands kindness. Charles Schulz, aka Charlie Brown. Why do you think Charlie Brown always has such a hard time getting along? He got rocks, right? Nothing in life is to be feared, just understood. Marie Curie, the single most Nobel Prize winning scientist in the world. I pay no attention to anyone's praise or blame. I just follow my own feelings. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. I dwell in possibility. Emily Dickinson. The ones who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. Steve Jobs. And I'll add one more. Love wins. Me. Could throw another one. Ghostbusters. Also, Blues Brother. You think that Aspies are something to be embarrassed of, or the word is something to be embarrassed of, that's when it's time to say thank you so much for caring about me and worrying about me. That is so beautiful of you. And I understand that that might even be scary to you, to think that there's an unexpected, turn in the road. Except for the unexpected turn already happened, and I'm here now. And I'm wearing this shirt on purpose. I don't know if you can see it, because I think that if the world can get along like this, we're in a lot better shape. Can you see it? It's an ampersand. I think that if we can say and, not but, we're going to be in a lot better shape. So, CJ, the way I suggest that you go about it is start with the feelings. Thank you for caring about me. Thank you for wanting things to be easy for me. Thank you for wanting to protect me from people who might be misunderstanding or might be cruel. And I know that that's scary for you too. And sometimes labels are good things because they teach us what to expect. I know that this is not going to be, orange soda, right? And in that case, labels are helpful shorthand in the appropriate circumstances. And if you are already having some troubles, the fact is there are really great resources out there to help you become the Emily Dickinson, the Steve Jobs, the whomever you want to be of our generation. And so that's when you say, so I'm asking you to take a step with me, to be brave, which means to feel afraid but do it anyway, and let me explore. You don't have to agree. You don't have to use the word, but allow me the chance Allow me the chance to explore who I am and what might help me. Because after all, the things that help people on the spectrum help everybody on the human spectrum. If you can't get independently Sisterhood of the Spectrum, the book, or The Secret Book of Social Rules, then ask your public library or your school librarian to get them for you. Or if you're still seeing your clinicians, ask one of them to get them if the resistance continues at home. And remember, if the resistance does continue at home, that's why I'm here. That's why all the resources that we're putting together in Asperkids are here. Because the fact is, you know you the best. And like so very many of us, it usually is the self who figures it out first. Trust that, know that, own that. Think about where the other person's coming from. Try to be kind and compassionate with that. And remember, invite them to be brave with you, to feel afraid and do it anyway. Take a risk and let you explore what the real picture, the real label that is Aspie might be, which is pretty dang amazing. Not always easy, but then again, what really is. And I always say, whoever chose a hero because he or she was so normal. Heroes are the only ones who change the world, and you got to be different to be a hero. You got to be extraordinary. That's the whole point. Thanks so much, CJ, for writing in. I hope this has helped a lot of people, and really keep up the questions. They make for such a heartfelt talk each week. So we'll see you next time on Speaking Geek. This is Jennifer O'Toole. Please make sure you get over to asperkids.com. I don't care if you're a kid or if you even know you're an Aspie. There are resources there that make everything better for everyone. And, not but. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.